First moment alone. Just walking to Roma Street Station now to get the train to Longreach, the spirit of the Outback. Trip begins. Waiting now for the train to leave. There's going to be a lot of waiting on this trip. A lot of waiting. Yep. That's the price you pay for trying to do everything overland, I guess. Oh, it's going to be a long year. One thing I will say is that I'm definitely going to be filming the majority of this trip on the Canon G7X rather than the Lumix, because this is just so much easier to get out of your pocket. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, so it's on the platform. It's about to be ready for boarding. The doors are just getting unlocked. Any customers travelling on the 6:10 service to Longreach and Overland stations, you'll be right to take your seat. The doors have just been unlocked. This is won't depart the platform till 6:10. Thank you.
Time to go. It's me. Looks like I've got all myself.
Staff are currently making their way through your carriages, checking all rail tickets. If you can please have these on hand along with any concession cards you used while purchasing your ticket. In the seat pocket in front of you, on the door behind the door in your cabin, you'll find a safety card. Please take time to peruse the safety card as it explains the emergency exit points and who to look to in the unlikely event of an emergency. This is a non-smoking service, ladies and gentlemen. Smoke detectors are fitted in the toilet and vestibule areas of all coaches. We do make regular stops throughout the evening, and we will advise when we have time for you to step onto the platform. Please note, however, we don't do announcements after 9 p.m. in the evening and before 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
little adventure to find another one of these. Let's go. Yeah, this is a weird one, guys. Passengers requested not to use toilet whilst training standing at stations. Yeah, no idea why that would be the case.
They need to pick a club car, mate. We keep telling them that. Do you tell them? Nothing I can do about that. I thought it was VIP.
No, why too late for dinner?
What time's the first city?
Aha, success. El Dante. Just pulled up in the Gympie. So the time now is about 9:45. Yeah, 9:45. It's going to be all night. There's plenty more people coming onto this train too, so better head back in. Sleepy train. Although I wouldn't call it a sleepy train by any stretch because I didn't get any sleep whatsoever. Yeah. They're some of the most uncomfortable chairs I've ever been in. Anyway. So this is just a quick overview of Spirit of the Outback. So it's 1,325 kilometres from Brisbane all the way out to Longreach. I'll just show you the route. So we started here at 6 in the afternoon yesterday. Started getting dark at about there in Gympie. And overnight we travelled all the way up to Rockhampton. We got to Rockhampton at about 5 o'clock. It's now about 6, so the coffee cart's going to open now. And we're going to go get some breakfast. But the rest of the trip today will be from Rockhampton all the way out to Blackwater to Emerald, where I used to live for 10 years. And then out in the Sapphire Country all the way out to Longreach. That's the final destination at 7 o'clock tonight. So I'll be there just in time for the sun to be down so I can put my tent up in the dark. That's going to be a lot of fun. Hello. Look, that's you. Hello.
Corridor, and they will slowly reduce the speed of the train for safety reasons down. Yeah, so Alpha is very hard to judge at the moment until we know what the speed restrictions are. It's not too bad here where the big money is for the coal train operations, but after Emerald. The next major stop for this service will be Emerald. Now going back to Blackwater, as I said, it's the Black Diamond or the coal, which is highlighting the economy for this part of the world. And they have the Coal Mining Industry Museum located at Blackwater. You may have seen it on the right hand side. At this point in time, the Spirit of the Outback is travelling 20 minutes behind schedule. We've just travelled over a corridor of recent track repairs and we're travelling back to normal speed, but when we do get beyond Emerald, there may be further speed restrictions which will be heat related. On departure from Emerald, give you details regarding our transit to the west.
So we're just approaching Emerald now. Emerald's where I grew up. It's my old stomping ground. And it's bringing back a lot of memories. You can see on the side of the road, I'm not going to try and show you, but just sort of cotton strewn all across the side of the road from all the cotton farming. And very soon we'll be crossing over the Goa River. Very exciting for me, but probably not for anyone else. Oh, sick tags, man. The old Goa River. Emerald! Yeah, I'm already.
Temperatures, it will impact the rail corridor and may result in late arrivals for centres further west. From here we'll continue towards the gem fields where the next stop will be Eniki. We'll then make our way to Bogan for a driver crew change and then up over the Drummond Range. The next stop over the range will then be Alpha.
After Emerald, the landscape's really changed. It's just so much more arid now, it's so dry. Let's have a look. We're snaking our way up some mountain range at the moment. You can see it cutting the rocks there. No idea what the mountain range is called. I probably should know, but pretty cool view. Again, it's just after Emerald, it's just so dry out here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're making our way now over the Darwin
Here we go.
Range, the highest point, Tennant Gap, at 572 metres.
Oh, it's Gap. Of course.
This range
572 metres.
is the main Great Dividing Range.
Great Dividing Range.
Regarded as the backbone of the eastern seaboard of Australia, stretching from the lower Gulf of Carpentaria right through to the Dandenong stand in Melbourne in Victoria. It's been dubbed the backbone because it is the separation of the coastal and inland river system. The highest point for the Great Divide in the mainland Australia is Mount Kosciuszko, just southwest of Sydney. For the range here, we should have our new drivers caught up with us. We'll do an interchange there at Drummond and then continue further west through to our farm.
Yeah, so it turns out those mountains were just the old Great Dividing Range. Easy mistake to make, I think, so I'll let that one slide. Turns out for the rest of the trip we're only doing 30 kilometers an hour because it's been so hot outside that the heater's actually, it tends to buckle the rails, so legally the train can only go 30 kilometers an hour all the way to Longreach, which has probably added an extra hour to the trip. So it's going to be well and truly dark by the time I get there to set up my tent. Great. I think I'm the only person in the economy area. I think everyone else is up in the first class. Fish and chips for dinner. Bundy rum. Not bad. Pretty sure I am the only motherfucker on this train, by the way. So just arrived in Longreach and it is hot. Hot and windy. I wasn't fortunate enough to have a courtesy bus waiting for me like all the Grey Nomads did. So I've got an 18-minute walk ahead of me to find the caravan park, but look, there's absolutely no one around. Where's this wind coming from? Ah, this feels dodgy. Trust me to be the only one walking. Just to add insult to injury, I was walking the wrong direction for the last 10 minutes. So now I've got a half-hour walk in front of me. Great. Really should have packed lighter. This is going to be a problem. Yeah, I need to do a serious sort out of my stuff to see what I can do to lighten this load, because this is just a 20-minute walk and I'm buggered. Finally. Woohoo! I'm in. Time to set up camp. It's way easier doing this in the light. have anything to hammer the pegs in with yet. There's a rock. Finally made it inside the tent, and it is so hot in here. It's like an absolute furnace. I'm gonna have to open it up, but that's gonna let dust in. But if I don't let it open, I'm gonna fry in here. So something's got to give. Anyway, have a shower first. It's been a big 2 days. Hopefully I'll get some sleep tonight. Morning. Survived the first night in the tent. Time is 7:15. I've been up for about half an hour. It seems that I aligned the opening in my tent with the only slither of opening with the direction in which the sun was rising, so this is the only place in the world where I've woken up at 7 o'clock and been sunburnt in a tent. Yeah, about to start the day. Gotta go grab some breakfast at the wool shed, charge my stuff up, and go check out a couple of things in town. I think the only things I'm going to look at today is the Stockman's Museum and the Qantas Museum, and I've been told they're across the road. I know from last night that the centre of town is a 20-minute walk into town, and it's about 45 degrees out today. I'm in two minds whether or not I'll end up doing that at all. There is a pool here. That sounds pretty delicious right now. That's where I spent the night last night. Pretty sleepy old place. Even when I walked in last night, I went and had a shower just over there. And there's no cold water, as in the hot water was hot and you turn the cold faucet on and it was equally as hot. So it was just no relief. After the shower I started walking back, and at least there was a bit of a breeze, but because the breeze was hot, by the time I got back to the tent last night, I was covered in the same layer of sweat that I was trying to wash off in the first place. This is the map of the caravan park. So I'm camped down here at 105. It's an unpowered camping site, and I'm pretty sure it must be the cheapest accommodation in Longreach because it was $14. Just to give you an idea of what it would cost if I went to the McKinnon place next door, which is the one I was actually eyeing off online. That one would have cost me about $150 a night. So I just couldn't say no to the sweatbox last night and just had to suck it up. That's where I'm going for breakfast now, the wool shed. So let's go check it out. What is that? It's like a Fred Flintstone house. I'll tell you what, it's the emptiest caravan park I've ever been in. They must know something I don't. Probably that there's no cold water. What a dust bowl. Must do some sort of gig night here. That's the most memorable hour of bush entertainment in the Outback. Okay. Big fire pit. Ah, what the hell? It's closed. Ah. Oh well, I suppose I'm going into town then. Jeez, there's no work in this town. It's only 7:40? Lazy bastards. Alright. Just walking over to the Qantas Museum now. Bought this cool new hat from that servo back there where I had breakfast this morning. It's pretty hot out today. I say it's about 40 degrees. And I don't know if you can see, but the flies are pretty relentless at the moment. It's boiling hot water. Oh, it's hot. Well, the good thing about this museum is it's not hard to find. Got my boarding pass. And my armband. Look like I'm flying off to a festival. Flight simulator. Oh shit. Crashing.
Longreach in the 1920s really was isolated. The railway was the chief means of transport. While there were coaches, horse-drawn coaches, while there were the odd motor lorry, and a few motor cars kicking around town, the roads were terrible. The place looked bare, dry and dusty, and very, very remote and isolated.
People from the outlying areas didn't come into town every week, necessarily. Sometimes people didn't come into town for 2 or 3 weeks.
In those days we had, Longreach had about 13 pubs. It had about 6 tailors, a bit of tailoring business, 7 or 8 grocery stores, 3 or 4 chemists, 4 or 5 cafes, and all those sort of things, and about 3 market gardens on the river.
What's Haddad's Cafe now was originally Kynuna. And in its heyday, they actually had a dividing wall down the middle of the restaurant, and they had the white damask tablecloths. The girls that served there, if they got a spot on their aprons, were expected to go and change and not be kept spotless. And it got to the stage where working people went on one side of the divide, and the landed gentry, for want of a better term, 8 on the other side. The smell of summers in Longreach, the long days, and when they water the streets to lay the dust, that lovely smell of water and dust. And playing, as Pat said, late in the afternoons, you know, playing out in the streets with all your friends, playing round as the old street lights came on, and you had to go home, you know, for tea and things.
Coming home from school at times, we'd run to them the ones that come from, I reckon, Badooris they used to call them, and they were that bad that you'd duck in behind the lead-ins to the stores and get up against the windows and try and get out in the sand that's, I suppose, it must have been pretty big because it's sort of percolate. During the 1920s, Longreach experienced a boom. The price of war was good at the time. You had all these young men who were suddenly back in the community. They were keen to do things. They'd survived the Great War, the war that was going to end all wars, and they wanted to do something for their town. They looked forward with hope and optimism to the future. At the same time, you had Qantas beginning with young men with the same ideas. You know, this idea of something better for the future and creating a better way of doing things and reducing the isolation.
It takes 4 of these engines to hold a 747 up in the air. Look at the size of it.
This one in particular started in 1979. It landed here in Longreach on the 16th of November 2002. And for anyone who's going to wonder or want to ask me later on, the runway is definitely long enough. So I get a lot of questions about that. He's have a takeoff and landing life limit of 19,000. This one was at 18,020 when it landed here in Longreach, so it was definitely its last lease anyway. Qantas did donate this aircraft to us rather than scrap it for $5.5 million worth of scrap metal. So that was lovely of them. Quick dimensions for the aircraft from tip to tail is 70 metres, from wingtip to wingtip it is 60, and the top of the flight deck is 3 stories high, which is actually the tallest public viewing structure in Longreach, as you legally cannot climb the water tower anymore. I know the letters. VHEBQ. So that one is basically the plane's registration like on the car. VH means Australian and EBQ is just the plane's identity. Essentially Qantas uses from A to Z and then recycles letters.
So why say VH? And not AU or something like that?
But if you're a Michael Jackson fan, which I kind of clicked on that you probably are,
Yeah.
just there. Aww. I shouldn't poke fun at like roll on him. But yeah, that was a lot of people like to ask if John Travolta's aircraft's the same. It's not. This is the only one that. And like I said, he's donating here, so he can't afford to fly it anymore.
Just heard a story that there was someone whose thongs actually melted to the pavement because they were so hot today. Yeah, it's officially 40 degrees, but my neighbour's thermometer in the campsite said 48 degrees. Just walking in the centre of Longreach, the business district. I'm looking for 2 things: air conditioning and beer. Preferably somewhere with both. We are right on the Tropic of Capricorn. I've seen that sign 2 times before, once in Rockhampton and once in Namibia. Namibia? Yeah, Namibia. Yep. There you go. Now I'm crossing it. Just walking down the street and found this. How weird. So I'm heading further into the outback today, heading to Winton, which is 180 kilometres northwest of here. So Winton's famous for two things. First of all, it's waltzing Matilda country, and second of all, it's got the world's only evidence of a dinosaur stampede at a place called the Lark Quarry. So I'll pack this tent up and we'll get going. By the way, this is day 4 of me wearing the same shirt and shorts today. The fact that this is just a polyester quick drying material means that I can just wear it continuously without ever needing to wash it. Okay, I'll have to wash it eventually, but 4 days in this heat, doesn't smell, it's not sticking to me, hasn't soaked up the sweat. Yeah, I think I'm going to get a couple more of these shirts and save on the laundry. Scored a lift to the caravan park on the Bluey. This is my campsite here in Winton. Not a bad setup. Actually under some shade this time, so hopefully I get a decent night's sleep. And I got my very own hammock. This is not a bad spot. If you're going to have a caravan park in this part of the world, you need a pool. Don't know what you need a hot tub for though. Yeah, so I'm just going to wait it out here until it's a bit cooler and the sun's sort of gone down a bit. I'll walk into town and organise my dinosaur tours for tomorrow. Until then, you'll know where to find me. So it turns out Banjo Patterson wrote Waltzing Matilda in this district. So the entire town is just Waltzing Matilda mad. Up there's the new Waltzing Matilda centre that they're building. The manager of that place actually gave me a lift to the caravan park. I think he took pity on me walking down the street with my backpacks in this 50-degree heat. G'day. So I've decided to leave Winton a day early. I was going to do the dinosaur stuff, but it was too expensive. It was $100 just to get out there, and it's 110 k's out, so I'm just going to head to Kynuna today instead. And that works out well anyway, because that means that I'll get into Mount Isa on the right day to get the greyhound. So it's all worked out really. Everyone's got a Land Cruiser. One thing I noticed when I was meeting people is that no one here just has one job. You know, you're a concreter, but then you're also a fencer, or a bush mechanic, and a carpenter. But then you also work behind the bar. Alright, let's give this a whirl. Okay. No way, check out the bush drum kit. Complete with everything. Hi-hats, snares, you got your bass drum and your cowbells. That was by far the coolest thing in Winton. By far. This is where I camped last night. As idyllic as it looks, it was just as hot as every other night, even though it was underneath the shade. So I actually came out to the hammock for a little bit last night, but as soon as I got in, I realised I wasn't the only one in here. And I had all these little friends crawling all over me. There they are. You bastards. See, I got bites all over my back. Look at them. Just can't enjoy myself. When you're out in this part of Western Queensland, you'll notice a strong smell from the water, and that's because the water comes from the Great Artesian Basin, and there's a lot of hydrogen sulfide gas that comes out of the pipe when you turn it on, which gives it its distinctive aroma. So it comes out at 80 degrees and then it's cooled down in the pipes down to 50 degrees Celsius. And that's the temperature of the water that comes out of the pipes. That's where I got bitten on the eye last night by an ant when I was trying to sleep in the hammock. It got me right on the corner of my eyeball.
Speedo says 100, cruise says 98.
Yeah.
But that's when I come out the airport, it's about yeah, Branky. Yeah. We haven't had rain because I've been here 3 years doing this. On the first year I was here, we got flooded in down at Tambo, like at different spots. Good. And the last 2 years, we have not stopped the road. The bus has just been able to get through. When you have a shower now, then I suppose, but there's been no decent rain.
Just camping there for the night, and then I'm heading up to Mount Isa for the next night.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and then up to Darwin after that.
Oh, yeah.
And then bring them up when you're at Kynuna, make sure you're prepared for
Yeah, that's
Monday.
it. Yep. Yeah. So I've just arrived in Kynuna, population of about 10, but I guess it's a population of 11 tonight. Yeah, pretty small outback town, not a lot going on. I'm staying at the Blue Healer for the night. I was actually here about, let's see, 15, or more like 18 years ago now, and I wrote my name on the wall somewhere, so I'm going to spend the day hunting around, see if I can find my old signature on the wall, and then just add a new one next to it. 1999 and then 2018.
ABC News, I'm Catherine Robinson. Stay with us, the top stories are just ahead.
I've been drinking a lot of Great Northern since I've been up here, and I just wanted to point out, if you read the back of it, it says the Great Northern Brewery was established in Cairns in 1927 to brew beer specifically for the local conditions in Queensland. But when you look a little bit further down, I don't know if you can see that, but it says brewed in Yatala. Yatala's even further south than the 4X Brewery factory. So, Great Northern, the beer for up here is actually brewed down there. Just having a shower in Kynuna. I just wanted to show you the little fella I was showering with. Look at the size of that guy. Is that not the biggest daddy long legs you've ever seen? Shit.
Where's home?
Give me.
Oh, it is?
You want some ice in this one?
Oh, that'd be great, thanks, you.
Over here, have a shower and feed.
It's 3 S's?
That's the one. SSS.
I
SSS.
think you're with it.
Yeah. Build it up and get the food happening again. Like I said, it's a pub. We can open at 10.
I must say, that's it.
Last night was probably the first night. I've had a few beers, so I'm feeling a bit dusty this morning. But just wanted to show you my ant bites, which are welting up nicely, especially that one right next to my eye. And then if you have a look down my back, yeah, under the arm. Covered in them. So today I'm going to leave the metropolis of Kynuna and head to Mount Isa. The bus isn't till 1:30 or so, but I want to pack the tent up now as it's 6 o'clock because it's the best time of day to do anything out in this sun. If I was packing it up at 1 o'clock, I'd be absolutely roasted. I didn't manage to find my name on the wall, but I made a new edition anyway. So maybe in 15 years time I'll come back and find the signature from 2018. This is the wind I had to contend with last night. I don't know where it's coming from. These guys here have just been waiting patiently for me to leave. Assuming in the hope that I'm leaving food behind. You're not invisible. I'm leaving Kynuna now and heading to Mount Isa. Just getting the bus again. See if it's not the same bus driver as last time. There's these massive birds here that just walk around the petrol station. Haven't had phone reception for about 2 days now, so I'm looking forward to getting to Mount Isa, catch up with a few people and figure out my next move. Turns out the bikie I was talking to was a Jehovah's Witness. He's chewing my ear off for half an hour. He gave me some reading material for the bus. I was wondering what I was going to do. time in 2 days. So it must be near civilization again.
Good four-wheel drive country.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be perfect for your four-wheel driving.
Eh?
It'd be perfect for your four-wheel driving.
Oh yeah.
Imagine a mine site built so close to the centre of town that it is the centre of town. Welcome to Mount Isa. So let me show you my luxurious accommodation in Mount Isa. This is the room. So we have a wall, your standard prison issue bars on the window, another wall, standard prison issue bunk beds, another set of bunk beds, and my bed. And if you're wondering, I didn't have to pay extra for the stains. They came free with the sheets. So I'm leaving Mount Isa today. I just had the one night. There's not a lot of reason to hang around here. It's a pretty sort of characterless, typical Australian mining town. Pretty good sunset though. Pretty good sunrise, I should say. And the sunset over the stacks is pretty impressive as well. So, getting the Greyhound today to Tennant Creek. So I should get in there at about 2 o'clock, 7 o'clock now, and Northern Territory's half hour behind, so that works out to 7.5 hours or so. But the good thing about Greyhound is it's air conditioned, it's leather seats, got USB chargers. It's pretty luxurious actually. I just realised I left my shoes under the bed in the hostel, so I'm running back to get them before the bus leaves. This is a good lesson. Make sure you check under the bed. Little bastards. It's good to see the security is up to scratch. I just walked straight in there. Unchallenged, unchecked. This is my last day in Queensland, by the way. So we're crossing the border today into the Northern Territory. Sorry, mate.
no consumption of alcohol here while you're here, please. And there's a couple of sets of toilets in the building, just in here.
So just arrived in Tennant Creek. If you're wondering, this is not a campsite. The reason why I'm not camping tonight is because I have to catch the bus in the morning to Darwin at 3 in the morning, and I didn't want to be packing the tent up in the dark. There is a hostel in town which I tried to call before coming here, but it's all closed up at the moment because it's low season. So I'm staying at the Eldorado Inn, which is across the road from where the bus will stop tomorrow. And this is what 140 bucks gets you. Everything in here smells like smoke, by the way. Kind of odd looking decor for an Outback motel, I thought, but anyway. Oh, God, it all smells like smoke. And it's a bit pricey, but you know, for a night's sleep, there's really no other options in Tennant Creek. It's not the kind of place you want to be stumbling around the streets of at night trying to find somewhere to sleep, so I just bit the bullet and staying in this little box of luxury. Just checking out the pool at the Eldorado Motor Inn. That's pretty shit. Reminds me of one of these motels in the American movies. You get some shaving cream, so walking into the centre of town, Tennant Creek, to try and find the IGA. It's 15 minutes walk in this heat and I've lost my hat. It's absolutely roasting right now. There's about 3,000 people that live in Tennant Creek, and yeah, 50% of them are Indigenous. There's a fairly high crime rate as well. Between Tennant Creek and Catherine, I think both of those places have both got some problems, especially with alcohol. You look around the streets and it's just dead. Oh, well, isn't that just the most polite graffiti you've ever seen? At least I know how to get to London now. Suppose I better go try the local out. Stop everything, I found the nightclub. It's 3 AM in the morning and I'm about to get the bus to Darwin. It's 1,000 kilometres away and about 14 hours on the bus. There's my bus, right on time. There's the police patrolling the hotel I was at last night. I guess they don't close the gate there at night, so the police just do a few fat laps to make sure there's no one hanging around. We're just at the Dunnamurra Roadhouse. There's a funny story about how it got its name. The line marker who used to work here, a guy named Dan O'Mara, went missing, and the local Aboriginal people helped track him down. They couldn't say his name properly and they called him Dunnamurra, and that's how the town got its name. A few of those bugs came off second best up there. So 628 kilometres left to go to Darwin. We've been on the road for about 4.5 hours, so another 9.5 hours and we'll be there. And it's just dead straight the whole way. Dead straight. First time I've actually seen what's between Tennant Creek and Darwin, because I've always flown in between the two.
Okay. Well, pretty much exactly the same. Not
Yeah.
the lane, eh?
Yeah.
There's a couple of rivers, a couple of towns, but otherwise, what it looks like.
Yeah.
Left and right, it's all cattle stations now.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much the whole way. Are you flying out today?
Flying out. I haven't actually booked the flight yet. So when I get to Darwin, I've got to get my visa and insurance and all the rest of it.
You still need a visa? You don't need a visa when you book your ticket?
I'm intending to be there for longer than 30 days.
I see.
So I need to get a slightly longer visa.
Catherine, the track goes underneath us and
Oh, we go over the tracks in Catherine, do we?
yeah.
Yeah, right. At the famous Mataranka Hotel. just stopped in Catherine for a quick coffee. Just wanted to give a shout out to Selena, who I knew up in Numbulwar. Congratulations on your election to that position. Well done.
For anybody who can't make it to Overland. Straight through there, look.
Oh yeah, yep.
It's like a little city over there.
Yeah. Well, 1,000 kilometres later, I arrive in Darwin. Humidity's pretty high today. It was actually 7 days ago that I left Brisbane, so I've been on the road for 7 days. It's gonna be nice to just put the packs down for a while. I've got 4 days booked here, so I'm going to be organising a fair bit of logistics stuff for the next leg of the trip, and just enjoying myself, hopefully.
I didn't have the crab though. Crab number 1, 0. 0. Cross me claws. I don't know which one mine is. So the best prize goes to Holy dooly! Let Johnny be in his point.
Yeah!
We both have the same, you know?
That's awesome. Suicide shot.
You're right.
A little bit, yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that.
And the shot straight in the eye. I wanna take my attention. I wanna do the things that I mentioned. I wanna benefit from the friendship. I wanna get the late night messages from you. Put my hands up. Gotta get a hand on. Gotta get a hand on. Hey! You take my love.
Oh my god!
That's brilliant. Well done.
Oh, that's horrible!
It's right.
Spitter.
I don't know.
See?
It's not working. Pictures?
Oh, that's a video.
We did a video. Hi.
Yeah, bloody cancer.
Anthony couldn't down a freaking bear.
I couldn't.
He couldn't.
Yeah, but neither could you.
It was horrible. Your dad,
Yeah.
but I didn't pretend that I could.
Yeah.
And I downed it even before you did. And I ate more beer.
You have like 2 extra fingers than me.
Well, that's more beer, isn't it?
Yeah, good point. Yeah. So
And you're supposed to be.
she's clearly wearing the
older
pants
kid.
in this relationship.
I am.
Yeah.
But he's alright with it.
No, I am alright with it.